Hello and welcome to Monmouth in Focus, a program about the services and functions of Monmouth County government. I'm Cynthia Scott, your host for this segment of Monmouth in Focus. Hurricanes, snowstorms, nor'easters, power outages, and traffic accidents are all emergencies. In some cases, these events are huge, and in other cases, they occur on a smaller scale. But in any case, the county's Office of Emergency Management is ready to respond. To tell us more about Monmouth County's Office of Emergency Management are Sheriff Sean Golden and OEM Coordinator Mike Opegard. Thank you both so much for joining us today here on Monmouth in Focus.
Thanks for having us, Cynthia.
Sheriff, the Office of Emergency Management is run through the Sheriff's Office. What role does the county play when it comes to the Office of Emergency Management?
Sure. Well, as you know, the Sheriff's Office has multiple divisions, and we have 600 plus employees that are dedicated to the cause, and they all work 24/7, and our emergency management team is the same way. And so when we have some of those events that you mentioned in the intro, whether it's a hurricane, whether it's an explosion, or we have some type of mass casualty incident, the Office of Emergency Management, led by Mike Opegard, is always there to respond. And they do a tremendous job for us at the Sheriff's Office.
Absolutely. And Mike, let's talk specifically with the Office of Emergency Management. How many people actually work under you? You're the coordinator, obviously.
Well, yes. Actually, we have 5 employees in the office. I have 3 deputy coordinators that work full-time and a part-time deputy coordinator and myself. But that's the core of the group, but we have countless volunteers, and we team up with the other county departments to make up the response and the coordination effort that we put forth during these emergencies. So, like the sheriff said, the 600 employees of the sheriff's office and the other 3,000 employees of the county, that in whole, we have that ability to tap into all those resources during an event.
Absolutely, and we have to. A perfect example of that was Hurricane Irene last year. We respond to all types of emergencies, but really the one that sticks out in our minds and throughout the county and the residents here in Monmouth County is Hurricane Irene.
Yes.
Walk us through the role, prior to landfall. This is a preparation. This is what happens during it, presently, and then it's after. It's post.
Sure.
So let's start out from the beginning. We know Hurricane Irene is on its way. We're following her path. What is OEM doing to prepare?
Yeah, well, Mike, he does a great job at tracking these events pre-storm and alerting all of those that he mentioned, all the resources involved, putting everybody on alert. Particularly in our office, we had, when you mentioned it, it's the most recent event where everybody kind of came together and worked. I mean, we had over 120 sheriff's officers deployed in that, numerous communication operators, and along with Mike's team, and then working with the local and other county agencies. But the preparation for that is all done through Mike's office, and he kind of he pre-plans. I mean, everybody said there's some downtime between events, and there is, but nobody sees the hard work like I do.
Right.
In the background when Mike is planning and his office is planning these events and creating all those operational plans for hurricanes or mass casualty events or what ifs. Scenarios, and so he does a tremendous job in doing that, and I saw that firsthand in Irene.
Yeah, Mike, I would imagine you have to be a multitasker in your job.
Yeah, that's that's it, the multitasker, the juggler, whatever you refer to it as. But like the sheriff said, it's just there really is not really a lot of downtime. I mean, we sit back after the event and take a breath or whatever, but we're always looking at how we responded, what we did leading up to that, what we did during the event, and how we can better ourselves for the next event. So although the plans are there for when we're heading into the event, we're always adjusting them after every single event or every single incident that we respond to, because we always pull out lessons that are learned.
Right.
And we need to incorporate that so we're better the next time, or we tweak a procedure that makes us a little bit better. And that's the goal of all these planning exercises. We have the plans, but we need to refine them. They're a living document.
And I would imagine that Hurricane Irene was probably one of the most challenging efforts because, you deal with snowstorms, you deal with major power outages. This was the first time I think we dealt with mandatory evacuations throughout Monmouth County.
That's right.
Correct.
That's right. We had mandatory evacuations. We have 27 miles of coastline in the county, and we were targeting some 75,000 residents from the coastal areas and the low-lying areas to evacuate. And so that was a challenge for the team, and I think Mike's team really delivered with that challenge, and it was quick. And, for the first time of evacuation, mandatory evacuation, it was tremendous. And, again, firsthand, I see Mike's work. His work's just starting when the hurricane ends, because then he has to work with FEMA and the like, post-storm.
Sure.
Yeah, there's months that go on after that with the damage assessments and the reimbursement process for eligible costs and things. And that's a lengthy process, and we're still in that process right now from Irene. So here we are just shy of, a couple months of a year of the event. And, we're still juggling paperwork back and forth to the state and the federal government for the actions that we did during Irene.
How important is communication during a disaster like this with other OEM coordinators throughout Monmouth County?
Sure. The communication and cooperation and coordination are key to this whole process. Without those three, we fail. And we need to, have a great communication network in place. And we did that during Irene. We started out with the municipal coordinators, having a meeting with them where we briefed them on every single thing that the county was doing, everything that we needed them to do. And then throughout the event, through email and phone calls and things, we stayed on top of them and, to get the information back to us for them, so we knew what to respond to and what assistance we needed from the state or federal government. So like in anything, communications is the utmost importance, and without that, we fail in the process.
Yeah, I remember sitting through some conference calls with the governor's office and the New Jersey Regional Intelligence Center, and talking about all the different scenarios. And then when the hurricane was occurring, we had briefings on a daily basis. And Mike's office, and I have to again commend him, he did a tremendous job. He's the conduit between the 53 municipal coordinators and public safety agencies to the state. And so that communication funnels through the county and up to the state level and back the other way. And so it's pretty impressive to see.
And that was my next question that you pretty much just answered. How close do you work with the state during an emergency? Obviously